Hey guys, it's Nicole from Barbell Bombshell. This is Dr. Moses Bernard of Spectra Wellness. We are talking about CARS today, and if you can explain what the acronym is.
Yes, CARS is Controlled Articular Rotations. This is something that's from the Functional Range Conditioning System of mobility and joint control. And what that is just taking our joints through their full range of motion on a day-to-day basis. This acts to maintain the health and integrity of the joint, and also ends up being kind of a daily screen to say, hey, are things working right, or are things not doing what they're supposed to? Okay. So we're gonna start with actually the neck today. And the neck becomes very important because neck pain is actually one of the #1 causes of disability in America. Okay. And a lot of the stuff that we do in the gym, our shoulder stuff, our arm stuff, well, we've got a bunch of arm and shoulder muscles that plug into the neck.
Right.
So if the neck's not doing what it's supposed to, that's gonna impact what my shoulders are able to. So what we want to do is, I'm just going to show you a controlled articular rotation for the neck area. So what we're going to do, so I'm actually going to have Nicole do this. She's going to tuck her chin down to her chest until she can feel a bit of tension down the back of her neck. And we're actually going to feel the muscles on the front contracting and squeezing kind of as hard as she can. And from there, she's going to roll her neck over to the side. So she's going to come over to the side, feeling a stretch over here. If she's feeling any type of pinching over here, we call that closing angle joint pain, that's a sign of something being wrong with the joint. If you're going through these ranges of motion on a day-to-day basis and you're consistently finding a pinching on this side as opposed to stretching on this side, that means there's something wrong with the joint. You're going to want to get that checked out by a specialist, whether that's a chiropractor, physical therapist, someone who knows neck mechanics really, really well.
Yeah.
So from here, we're going to rotate all the way back. Keeping the mouth closed should feel a really good stretch in the front of the neck. Back over to the other side. And then back down to center. Good. And come back to neutral. Something else that we're going to do, I'm going to have you bring your head back. Kind of give yourself a double chin. Sorry. And then from there, you're going to turn your head all the way to the left. All right. From there, tuck your chin straight down to your collarbone. Good. And now look up at the ceiling. And back to neutral, and you're going to rotate around and do the same thing the opposite direction. And down, and back up, and back to neutral, and back to center. So most of us on a day-to-day basis, when we use our neck, we do a lot of stuff here, we do a lot of stuff here. Right. We might do a little bit of rotation when we're shoulder checking in our car, and usually that's about it. But our neck should be designed to do a whole lot more than that. Okay. So making sure that we go through some of these ranges of motion on a day-to-day basis keeps our neck healthy. We can also do some combinations within those ranges of motion that I gave you. So as we come over to the side, we can rotate from that side position. So we're just telling our neck muscles, telling our neck joints to go through their full range of motion on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, to move our body. So when do you recommend doing that? Like first thing in the morning, throughout the day, how often?
I personally do it first thing in the morning. Okay. We talk a lot about warming up for our workout, but we don't really talk too much about warming up for life. Yeah, so exactly. First thing in the morning, having a 5-10 minute routine of, you can do this with all the joints of your body. If you've got certain areas that have a tendency to be really nagging, and really focusing on those can be really beneficial. If you've got something that really lacks control, lacks range of motion, doing it more frequently throughout the day is really going to help you. Okay. So there's a million different ways to apply this to your day-to-day life, but for a lot of people, doing it first thing in the morning, you're going to notice a huge difference in the quality of your life just by getting your joints to move better.
Okay. And how long do you say should you hold those positions? Like, should you just be rolling through, or should you kind of breathe through it for a little bit and, like, at that end range, feel that stretch?
We're not really going for stretching right now. We're really just going for exploring the end ranges of motion. The joint capsules themselves, the receptors within the joint, they really only get fired, they really only get turned on at the end ranges. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to explore the end range of our joint's range of motion. Okay. And if we find that there's an end range that we don't like in terms of we don't have the range of motion or the control that we need, that's when we go a step further and work on some mobility specific things that we'll talk about in a different video.
Okay, all right, awesome. Okay, so there you have it, CARS on the cervical spine, the neck, and we will feature another video on the hips and ankles and stuff like that. So check back in and let us know if you guys have any questions or comments. Feel free to comment below in the section on YouTube. We'll post this on Facebook as well. We're all about feedback. We're here to help. So let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.